Hey everyone, and welcome to our second ecosystem working group, All Hands of the Year, but the first one that we're publishing to the community. My name is Colin, and I figured I'd just go through the agenda and introduce what the ecosystem working group concept is for the broader community before we dive into some of our exciting updates. So our agenda here is I'll do an overview of the ecosystem working group. We'll go through each of the working groups objectives and a quick progress update over the last few weeks. We'll do 10 to 12 ecosystem spotlights from different facets of some of the work that folks are doing. And then we'll do a deep dive. Today's topic is hackathon strategy, and we'll rotate this as we go through. So what is the ecosystem working group? Well, our mission is to seed the long-term growth of the decentralized web by cultivating a wide variety of stakeholders, aligning them with the success of IPFS, Filecoin, and libp2p, and treating them like gold. We formed this working group maybe middle of last year, and we decided to really focus on three protocols. Filecoin, which is a crypto-powered storage network that's becoming the storage network of Web3. IPFS, which makes the web work peer-to-peer, and it has become the data and content platform of Web3, and libp2p, which is a modular networking stack for peer-to-peer protocols, and it's become the networking library of Web3, serving many of the protocols that we know and love, like Ethereum 2, Polkadot, and many others. Now, when we formed this working group at the tail end of last year, the team has actually come from three different organizations who are solely dedicated to growing the Filecoin, IPFS, and libp2p ecosystems. Outer Core is the newest org. We just kind of formed this, in the last month or so. And this is an org solely focused on, the ecosystem development of those three protocols. The Filecoin Foundation, which was launched over a year ago, who's also just purely dedicated to the ecosystem growth of Filecoin, and of course, Protocol Labs, who we know and love. And combined across these three organizations, there are 50 full-time contributors working on growing our ecosystems, and then many, many more orgs that engage in our working groups. Now, this is kind of just the beginning. I assume that the number of orgs that will be contributing to this working group will expand dramatically over the course of 2022. So if you're interested, please reach out. We would love to have you participate. Our growth strategy at a high level is comprised of three different levels here. First, it's called ecosystem multipliers. These are major new use cases, bridges to Web3 ecosystems and bridges to Web2 users that create a tremendous amount of opportunities for different categories of applications where developers can kind of grow and develop their ideas. So you can think of these like IPFS or Filecoin in the browser, or enabling video on top of Filecoin. So major categories of use cases that we're working on. Second, we have what we call the builder's funnel. And that's kind of this middle aspect where we encourage new developers to experiment with IPFS, Filecoin, libp2p, primarily through hackathons, education, resources, and support. A subset of those developers will continue on to projects where they can get grant funding, mentorship, and go through various accelerators to really turn those hacks into projects. And then finally, as those projects turn into businesses, there's a whole suite of ecosystem funding and growth support to help them accelerate their visions. And then at the bottom here is really to provide resources and support for our Web3 storage providers to help them incubate, grow, prosper, expand geographically. This is both tooling for the storage providers themselves, but also to have clients join the ecosystem and be successful storing lots of really valuable data on top of those storage providers. A quick recap of 2021. So it was a great year for our team and working group. We blitzscaled against the working strategy I just described. At the beginning of 2021, there was about 7 full-time contributors to this effort. And today there are over 50 full-time contributors that are working on different facets of the organization. So that was a big sprint. A lot of these folks joined recently in our onboarding, but we're also trying to form this into a much more open working group where multiple orgs can participate. Two, we feel like we attracted some of the best builders in Web3 and helped them succeed. 10,000 developers engaged in our hackathons with amazing, great content and developer support. We increased the number of serious applications and builders building on top of IPFS and Filecoin from 40 to 290 in the course of a year. And we've really showcased 25 categories of use cases across our protocols. And then finally, we significantly increased adoption of Filecoin, IPFS, and libp2p. With Filecoin, we bridged them to 75% of the most relevant Web3 smart contract platforms. The Web3 tooling led by Estuary, Textile, Web3.storage, and FIL and NFT.storage has dramatically improved to help developers get onboarded in building applications. Believe it or not, there are 26 million NFTs stored just through NFT.storage with IPFS on Filecoin, and we've gotten traction from a lot of Web2 style data sets as well. We help storage providers succeed through loans, accelerators, and support, and we launched several ecosystem multiplier initiatives, including browsers and Filecoin Free. Now, I did want to go through a few kind of metrics that we tend to look at, particularly around adoption. And these are the kind of metrics that we're maniacally focused on throughout this year and into the future, because if these metrics are trending positively, then we're in tremendous shape for the future of Web3. So first is developer adoption. Over 8,500 contributors have contributed to the Filecoin repos on GitHub. And of course, that has increased very, very significantly over the course of 2021. And I believe Filecoin is the #4 most actively developed blockchain protocol. We have this concept called the builder's funnel, where new developers engage through hackathons, be able to flesh out their ideas through developer grants, and then really turn those projects into businesses through accelerator partners, mentorship, and capital. Michelle will go through this in a little bit more detail in a minute, but we've been tracking the success of that program through this graph right here, where we're trying to track teams at various stages of funding. So at the bottom, we have projects that have mostly received grant funding. The pink line is accelerator companies that are starting to flesh out their ideas, and then Series C, Series A, Series B funding on top of that. At the beginning of 2021, we had about 40 of these companies within our building on our stack. Today, we have over 300, which is an incredibly amazing testament to how we've supported developers, their applications, and their businesses over the last year. These are just a subset of teams in our ecosystems in the builder's funnel itself, and IPFS and Filecoin ecosystems are particularly thriving with different categories of use cases and tools with those teams within it. Now, when you think about other adoption metrics of our stack, storage providers is one of them. Over the course of last year, we increased from about an exabyte of storage on Filecoin to about 15 exabytes of capacity today, which is really large enough to store 4 billion 1080p movies, and I think is about 1% of total cloud storage today. That is a tremendous start for our ecosystem. On the usage side, there are 29 petabytes of storage on Filecoin today, with 1.4 million deals on Filecoin. These are graphs that go back to the beginning of this year. And as you can see, the top bar, which is FIL plus data, has been increasing dramatically, which is important for a number of reasons. So we hope to increase that over the course of 2022 as well. In terms of ecosystem multipliers, we continue to partner with all the major smart contract blockchains in Web3. We completed bridges with about 75% of them, including Chainlink, Ethereum, Polygon, Near, LivePeer, VideoCoin, Hedera, and many others in 2021, and there's a bunch more planned in 2022. And these aren't just technical integrations, these come along with joint grant programs and joint hackathons to really encourage developers to use the combined stack of Filecoin, IPFS, plus another blockchain. We have today over 26 million NFTs stored on NFT.storage. That is tremendous growth, is up from 17 million about a month ago and 7 million 3 months ago. So we've more than 3x the number of NFTs on this platform, which is incredible adoption. In terms of ecosystem multipliers, Dietrich will be talking about our browsers initiatives. IPFS is natively integrated within Opera and Brave, which is a huge win because that can potentially access 250 million combined monthly active users. And we're working on a whole host of other browsers over the course of 2022. And then Filecoin Green. This is a huge initiative where we want to drive towards carbon neutral and ideally carbon negative blockchain. And so we've been tracking the energy usage in a verifiable way on top of the Filecoin blockchain, and looking for ways to decrease that usage both technically and through carbon offsets. And then there's a whole bunch of use cases that we've been focused on: video and audio on top of our stack, metaverse and gaming, which are big priorities for this year, NFTs, which are both applications building NFT type use cases, but also platforms like OpenSea, Zora, and Jigstack that actively use NFT storage, consumer storage and verifiability, finance and biotech, if you can believe it, on our stack, and classic kind of Web 2 style data sets that are using Filecoin and IPFS for really differentiated reasons versus kind of the centralized storage providers that we know and used previously. When you fast forward to this year, our high-level priorities are to amplify the voice of IPFS, Filecoin, and libp2p within Web3 through events and better communications, to continue invest in builders, catalyzing the next 1,000 startups in our ecosystems, deepen integrations with Web3 collabs, investing in 3 high-growth verticals, including NFTs, metaverse, and gaming, significantantly grow storage providers in a geographically diverse way, onboard 100 petabytes of storage to Filecoin with much better developer tooling, and significantly increase browser adoption and make Filecoin green, some of those ecosystem multipliers that we're targeting. We have tons of open roles within our working group, so if you have any kind of referrals, please send them in for some of these ones that are on the screen here. I want to introduce kind of the different working groups that make up the ecosystem working group. And so in a minute, we'll have each of those leads kind of introduce themselves and what they're working on. This goes from comms and events to the builders funnel, Web3 storage provider growth and client solutions, the application research group, which is developing applications like Estuary to make it easier to use our stack, browsers and special projects, Filecoin Green, and the Asia working group. And before I transition to that, this is kind of the ecosystem working group and some of the leads. Our 2022 OKRs, our objectives and key results are around accelerating the ecosystem multipliers across our stack, scaling the builders funnel to 1,000 teams, helping storage providers scale globally, be the primary infrastructure for high growth Web3 use cases, and finally store significant data on Filecoin across Web3 use cases and Web2. So if you have a team or an individual and you want to participate in any of these objectives, please email ateam@protocol.ai and we can set you up with the right areas. So with that, I think I'm going to transition the deck to Nicole, and Angie can kick it off with the comms and events working group.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Colin. What a great intro. Hello, everybody. I'm Angie. I'm your lead for comms and events. We have an amazing working group. Although, as Colin said, we're always looking for new contributors. So we're really excited to have some of you join in the near future. Our working group, our kind of OKR is to amplify the voice of Filecoin, IPFS, and libp2p within Web3. And we are broken down into a couple of different working groups. So we have a content working group who put together all those awesome blog posts that you see. And our newsletters. We have a PR working group who work on getting us in the right places. So if you see us in CoinDesk, in the Wall Street Journal, they've been working hard. We have an events working group who put together all of our fantastic events and make sure that we're at the right conferences and that we're kind of featured across kind of global events everywhere, and then the Asia Comms and Events Working Group who look after our communities in Korea, Japan, and China, and then finally our Special Projects Group who have recently launched the awesome Orbit program, which we're going to hear about a little bit later on. We've also got some new team members coming very soon, and as Colin mentioned, we have open roles, so please check those out. If you want to engage with us, then you can email marketing@protocol.ai. We've got an event, public Notion that'll be coming very soon, and then also #FileComms and events. So we have been very, very busy. There's been lots happening in January. We had a ton of events. So we had a Korea Community AMA. It was the first time that we'd done that, and it was really successful. We also had an NFT storage AMA. That was the first time that the NFT storage team had done that, and that was on Twitter Spaces. There'll be more of those in the near future. We also had NFT Hack 2022, an intro to IPFS and Filecoin workshop, which was in Africa, led by Charles on our team, a storage provider AMA, and lots more upcoming events are going to be in the spotlights. You can check out Phil-events on Filecoin Slack for more information on what's coming up. And then on media and PR, we have been getting mentions in the Wall Street Journal, Sapo, CoinDesk, and lots of other great publications. Content, I'm not going to go through everything. The Filecoin blog and the IPFS blog are awesome. Make sure that you check them out. And then finally, special projects. The Orbit Community Program launched in January, and Yulia is going to tell us more in the spotlights. And that's the communications and events team. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You and the team are killing it. All right, builders, Mosh.
Hi, everyone. I'm Michelle, also known as Mosh. And the Builders Group is an incredible group of several working groups and amazing people. We're all united around educating, inspiring, and empowering the next 1,000 builders of Web3. A few ways to get in touch with us. One is the community help channel is a great place to start on Discord and Slack. If you don't know which channel to jump in and chat with us, that's a good place to reach out and say hello. There's a hackathons.filecoin.io website, which is a launch pad for the many, many hackathons and opportunities to get started building. And then the getting started page is kind of a self-serve resource page that links to all of the programs I'll be talking about in a moment. All right, on the builders front, we're helping builders across stages. So you see this diagram on the right. It's a rough map of how we think about some of the ways that developers in Web3 come to our tech stack, grow their project, and then help realize their dreams. So we're helping builders across stages. That's a new focus for 2022, and it's going really well. That's happening through emails, presentations, one-on-one chats to grow builders' awareness of different pathways and support options. We're also layering in some multi-stage programs such as ENCODE and FEM Early Builders. So we might pair education with grants or a hackathon with a pre-accelerator program. That's going to be awesome. And we're publishing technical content that meets people where they are. So instead of expecting people to start on our doc sites, we're writing as if they might have already chosen a chain. For example, they already want to build on Flow or they already want to build on Polygon. We've written tutorials in those languages. We're also assuming that many interested devs are starting from another doc site of the ecosystem that they're working, the smart contract system they're working in. So we're embedding tutorials for our technologies, NFT storage, S-Story, IPFS, et cetera, into those places like Harmony and Polygon. On the Web3 collabs front, amazing integrations and proofs of concepts in progress for 3 key verticals: NFT, games, and metaverse. I can't go into all those details here. Really excited to announce more of these in the very near future.
Thank you so much, Mosh. All right, client and storage provider, Stefan.
Hey everyone, welcome. My name is Stefan. We as a team, we help grow the clients, the Web2 clients and the storage providers. Our goals for 2022 is to demonstrate first and foremost utility of the network, demonstrate the impact that we have on our customers, how we can drive value by demonstrating it through repeatable solutions and building out a strong network of vocal ambassadors. And then on the storage provider side, our goal is to build a diverse storage network. That means from small to large, from very specific to very geo-diversified. And that includes green energy, that includes HIPAA compliance, all the unique capabilities that any SP can provide. The ways to engage with the SP and the client teams, connect with us on Slack. We have many Slack channels. If you really don't know where to start, feel free to reach out when you're a storage provider to storageproviders@protocol.ai or storage clients if you're a client at storageclients.protocol.ai. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So looking back in the last month, what have we seen? So our storage providers are growing. And in the last month, we've seen 97 new storage provider systems coming online. We've now more than 3,800 globally distributed across more than 40 countries. And if you look at where most of the growth is coming from, we're seeing a tremendous growth between 0 and 10 petabytes. That's where 88% of our growth is coming from, which is fantastic. Meaning a very healthy funnel continues to grow across new regions. We see interest in Africa, we're seeing growth in Korea, we're seeing growth in Japan, all fantastic expansions. And we also announced the 3 new lending programs with Dharma, Anchorage, and CoinList with low collateralized loans, less than 20%, which helps our SPs to onboard more Filecoin Plus. So, or expand in their configurations. So if you're interested in that, please reach out. Also upcoming, our goal is to enable and help our storage providers to move through the funnel with more content, solutions. And so for next month, you'll see a bootcamp, a virtual bootcamp that will be released with more than 15 hours worth of material on how to run, operate, and best practices when you are a new storage provider. So also join us at South by Southwest. And we also started our first monthly AMA. Let's go to the next slide. Let's look at the clients. Yes, clients growth. There's a lot going on, some highlights. Next week, we'll officially announce a new landing page, largedata.filecoin.io. If you have any customers, please register them with filecoin.io/gravity. Great. Last month, we had 2 Gravity winners, 2 customers that are willing to stand up. They're starting to upload more than 100 terabytes of data. Both are photo applications, and we'll write up those case studies and we'll present them to you next time. But one of the key benefits of Filecoin was the immutability capability, which was extremely important. Also, we have 8 ongoing POCs and 10 petabyte of POC. Can you imagine? Multiply that by 5. That's 50 petabytes of data that will be uploaded into the network. So very exciting to see those proof of concepts coming. Our goal is to get to 20 this quarter, so please bring them in. And some of the data sets we're continuing to see are genome sequence data set, genome sequences, satellite images, picture archives, open data sets. So lots of good stuff coming down the line. That's it for this month.
Thank you, Stefan. All right, application research, Jimmy.
Hi, I'm Cake. I can also go by Jim. I am working on a team called the Application Research Group. We continue to provide production-ready software that utilizes IPFS, libPTP, and Filecoin for entire Filecoin ecosystem. You can engage with us on our website, arg.protocol.ai. You can see our roadmap. You can also go on Twitter and talk to us there. You can email us at arg@protocol.ai, and we're available on Slack. Just join us in the ARG Slack channel. We're led by Jeremy, who was the first engineer at Protocol Labs. And we build stuff like Estuary. So FEM file website, and also we do a lot of technical examples. And so far, Estuary has done over 12 million files, 89,000 deals, 159 terabytes of total pinned IPFS storage. We're getting close to a petabyte of replicated Filecoin storage. We have over 147 total storage providers and over close to 500 million objects. So that's a lot. It includes NFT storage data, as well as pretty much everything else that we're putting onto Filecoin. And some of our goals this year include trying to get past the petabytes, going for at least 20 meaningful integrations. So you saw the slides before. There are a lot of people who want to upload data to the Filecoin network. So we hope to provide the tooling. We want to have a lot of viral videos, viral examples of how to use Estuary and other tools that can help add data to the Filecoin network. We want to have a miner index reputation system. We launched the FEM website, which I'll get into more later. And we want to also add features and improvements to Lotus, Filecoin, and Estuary. So here's an example of some websites that we built. So here's the new FEM website where you can see diagrams and milestones and see what's happening next and kind of get a sense of when will be the first time you can write your first smart contract. And if you go to the next slide, there's a way to apply for the FEM Foundry and get a grant to work on the Filecoin virtual machine. So I recommend that if you're interested in working on this stuff and being amongst the first, please apply. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Dietrich, browsers and special projects.
Hey everybody, my name is Dietrich Ayala. I've been working on browser things here at Protocol Labs for a couple of years. And right now we have a group called Browsers and Special Projects. A couple of people joined me in this group, Marshall Culpepper, who's leading our work with other folks in the space industry to figure out how things like content addressing and peer-to-peer networking can improve interoperability and velocity in that world. David Justice, who joins us to work on IPFS Companion and other different mobile efforts. And Lytle, who's an honorary member helping us on all things browsers and integration and gateways. The objective this year is to increase adoption of IPFS and Filecoin in long-term areas such as browsers, mobile space, metaverse, through direct contribution, collaborations, and standards development. Some of these things take years because they're big ships and they need to move slowly. So we need to be able to have those relationships in place and the work done. So once our network spins up and our tools, and APIs, libraries, and services are ready, those folks are ready to onboard on that end as well. You can find us in the Browsers and Standards group that is super bridged across Filecoin, Slack, IPFS Discord, and the IPFS Matrix. Some of the things happening this year, this quarter, already launched, I'll talk about in a minute, MetaMask Flask, the Filecoin Snap. We have a bunch of things happening in extension land, new versions of Companion as we get ready for Manifest v3, a major change to browser extension architecture all across all browsers, basically. And then some experiments in mobile operating systems, which will be interesting. You'll hear more about that later in the quarter, hopefully with a demo that you can run yourself, as well as things like Filecoin support in Brave's native wallet, and the ability to hopefully around mid-year bundle support for custom protocols inside Chromium. And these are some of the work that we do ourselves, do here in the team, but also in conjunction and collaboration with a number of different partners. There's other things happening around metaverse, mobile, and some of the standards work that you'll probably hear about later in the year. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, Alan, Filecoin Green.
Hey, I'm Alan from the Filecoin Green team, and our goal is to turn verifiable environmental accounting into a Filecoin superpower. And what we mean by that is that because we work with data that is immutable, verifiable, and interoperable, we think it should be really easy to not just understand what your environmental footprint is when you're doing stuff in the Filecoin ecosystem, but it should be easy to lower it, to take actions to lower that environmental footprint, and to make really strong claims about what that environmental footprint is and what you did to lower it. And so I'm working on this full time. Angie's working on this with me. We're hiring new people. We just put out 2 job offers yesterday. So we're growing our team. And what we're going to be doing is firstly connecting the network to renewable energy. We're going to be supporting storage providers in making really strong renewables claims when they want to make those claims. And we're going to be building integrations to pass environmental data between applications on the network. And so a few of the concrete things that we've been doing in the recent future are firstly airdropping renewable energy onto the network. And so we're using this product called RECs, renewable energy certificates or guarantees of origin, and doing this in a way that's extremely verifiable. So when storage providers want to make these renewable energy claims again, there are public certificates showing where those renewable energy claims are registered in existing registries. And we're tokenizing these RECs with our partners at the Energy Web Foundation and turning them into these Web3 native tools that can then be content addressed and claims can point to them. The Filecoin Foundation gave this amazing grant to a storage provider that is installing solar on their roof now. And that data is also going to be publicly accessible. So they're going to make it really clear how much their solar is producing when and connect that to their miners on our platform. So we're really excited about that because we're going to be able to show not just that we're sourcing renewable energy through the power grid, but also that we're generating renewable energy on site and develop standards for Filecoin and other projects to make those really strong claims. We also have energy APIs now. So the Filecoin Energy Dashboard, which has been up for a while, now supports queries in which you can look at the amount of data stored and sealed over time and translate that into energy. And so we think that's a really strong building block that's going to enable builders to integrate this type of information to what they're doing. And lastly, we've been working on an opt-in auditing process. So if a storage provider wants to make a really strong claim about energy use over a period or about location, they're able to submit additional information that can then be verified by a third party. And then when they make those claims, they can point back to that verification. So that really raises the bar in terms of the level of verifiability that we're able to achieve in all of these energy claims. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, Asia Working Group, HQ.
Hi everyone. My name is HQ Han, and I'm leading the Asia Working Group. Basically, it covers the growth of Filecoin within the Asia region. And so talking a bit about like our team objectives for this year, there are three. The first is that we really want to grow the Filecoin ecosystem in Japan and Korea. In China, we are focused on developer education and activity this year. And lastly, it's an overall push towards getting more community engagement via events and local language marketing. You can engage with us on Filecoin Slack, and we have these like local Filecoin communities on Filecoin Slack. So if you belong to any of these, feel free to join. If you're interested to talk to the working group directly, you can search for me on Filecoin Slack, and my handle is HQ. A couple of quick updates, very exciting stuff happening in Asia. So we are really trying to build the local communities by providing very easy access to information about Filecoin, IPFS, and our entire tech stack. So very recently, we launched Japan and Korea chat groups and Japan and Korean versions of our blog. All these are on top of like the already existing Mandarin Chinese versions of everything. We are organizing a lot of AMAs, so there'll be a lot of ways to engage and learn about what's on the roadmap for Filecoin, developer docs translated into local languages, and partnerships, so that we can lay the foundation for learning about Filecoin and like getting more engaged with the project. We also have a very strong focus this year on building the developer funnel. So definitely look forward to more hackathons, accelerator opportunities, and as well as Asia events. Thank you.
Thank you so much, HQ. All right, we're into the spotlights. And Ryan, you are first.
All right. Yeah, so I'm gonna just do a slide on Big FAQ. Big FAQ is a collection of questions, challenges, and answers. It can be used to quickly find the answer to a challenge or to generate reports based on certain criteria. We began work on this in 2021. It will be an invaluable tool for supporting, onboarding, and reporting. With future integrations with GalaxyBot, this tool will be super accessible to everyone and give Big FAQ access to lots of extra data. We can utilize plugins to integrate it with Slack or wherever else other people are asking questions and experiment on other ways to handle that. And GalaxyBot is getting, or actually has now, a new plugin for Web3.storage. GalaxyBot is our friendly bot who hangs out in the IPFS ecosystem channels. It can now upload to Web3.storage just by a CID without signup, with limitations. GalaxyBot primarily resides on Discord, but also will work on a lot of the Matrix and Slack channels. By DMing GalaxyBot on Discord, your Web3.storage API key, it can use your Web3.storage resources, unlocking its full power. That feature is actually coming soon. And you can find more out just by DMing GalaxyBot, !Web3-help, and then GalaxyBot will let you know how the Web3.storage progress is. And feel free to check out our source code, which is linked on the slide. And thanks to the Web3.storage team, Devrel, Jeropo, and Adine.
Thank you so much. Marshall.
So some exciting updates for our interplanetary space program. We started early prototype on our IPFS radio stack, which we'll have more details about soon. I can't wait to tell you guys more about that. Welcoming Robert Dowling to the team, who's joined the Filecoin Foundation, both working on educational content and some of our hardware needs in the space program. And we've made exciting progress in the last month or so towards partnerships with major space primes. And we'll be releasing more content about the actual space program itself to the public very soon. I'm pretty excited about unveiling what we have in plan there. We will start attending space conferences very soon. I'm planning to go in April to the Space Symposium, where many satellite companies and different space things are going on. And if you're just curious about the latest status of whether or not the interplanetary part of interplanetary file system is actually interplanetary yet, go check out areweinterplanetaryet.org and come join our space channel in our Slack community.
Awesome. Thank you, Marshall. All right, Stefan.
Hey, yes. As part of our ecosystem enablement, specifically enabling our storage providers, we started a accelerated program last quarter, and that went live, or is going live, sorry, in the next month. So we have now selected the first cohort that will start in February. We have a second cohort, as you may know. We have 50 seats on a yearly basis. We have a total of 50 broken down over 4 quarters. So our next cohort applications are open. So if you're interested, please apply. We have a nice funnel there already that will be launched in April. So if you're interested in becoming an SP, please apply. You get full support for 9 months from very vetted storage providers that are will guide you through the whole process on how to set up the system, run it, and you'll actually walk away with real block rewards to start your own business. And obviously we'll help you with the funding. So really cool. We'll bring in Espa next month to give you an update to us, but stay tuned on more information. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, Cleo.
Hi everyone. So last month, 30 incredible builders and projects were featured daily on Filecoin's Twitter channel, from privacy browsers to open source NFT marketplaces, all to storing virtual human avatar metadata. It's builders and projects like these that make up the Filecoin ecosystem. So please take a moment to look at the high level for 4 of the 30 features on the slide.
Thank you. All right, Dietrich, MetaMask file snap.
Hey, everybody. Again, I've come to say that MetaMask and Filecoin now have a way to play available today. We launched it last week with a combination of work from MetaMask, from folks on our team, from the PR folks, from ChainSafe, who developed the core of this, and friends like John Schwartz, who work on things like Glyph that you might be familiar with if you ever interacted with Filecoin in your ledger. This is a new architecture from MetaMask that is a modular plugin architecture, so you can put different things in your MetaMask. And one of the first ones, and they launched in this new developer channels of theirs, is the Filecoin one that we built. So you can actually open up this demo today and try out sending or receiving Filecoin from a wallet that is basically anchored to your MetaMask. It's very cool. It is not ready for production use yet. This is a developer channel to be able to see new things. MetaMask plans to launch this into production sometime later in the year, and we will be launching our FIL snap along with them. Thanks.
Thank you, Dietrich. All right, Yulia.
Hey everyone, my name is Yulia. I'm a part of Ecosystem Working Group, and I'm really excited to introduce Orbit Community Program to you guys. This program is powered by Filecoin Foundation and Protocol Labs. In October last year, our communities came together to celebrate 1-year anniversary of Filecoin mainnet launch. It was a huge success, and we decided to extend this program long-term. Program will be focusing on helping amplify the voice of Filecoin, IPFS, and libp2p in Web3 community, organize virtual and in-person meetups, create and localize content. Everyone is welcome to join the program, whether you're a developer, non-technical contributor, or completely new to Filecoin. Go ahead and apply to become Orbit Community member right now. You could join the program as an individual contributor or organization. If you join as an individual contributor, you could start out as a cadet and essentially progress to a captain. And captains essentially is focusing on building out the local community and the regions. A huge shout out to the team who helped make this happen: Angie, Colin, Claire, Eric, Dan, Agatha, and everyone else who was involved.
Thank you, Yulia. All right, Nikki.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nikki, and I work on the hackathons team. We reached out to all our hackathon winners from the last year, and here's what we found out. Of the 44 respondents, 43 were really interested in being featured on some public platform by us. We have already put them up on the hackathon's website in the Hall of Fame, and are also planning Twitter threads with the marketing team in coming weeks. We also found out that NFT, dev tooling, gaming, and social media were some of the most popular themes from many areas that they chose to build in. And majority of the projects were built on IPFS, either directly or via Web3.storage and NFT.storage, especially in the later part of the year. And lastly, majority of them were looking for mentorship and grants or funding, and we have followed up with them, sharing the resources they need in order to get the support. And several of them have already booked office hours with our developer advocates or the grants team. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Nikki. All right, Angie.
Hello, so me again. We, as part of Art Basel Miami, we wanted to do a really cool creative activation for the NFT storage team. So we went and bought ourselves a penguin. We purchased a pudgy penguin. He's very cute, as you can see. We named him after Phil, who's on our team. So he is Phil the penguin. And he was plastered over a billboard in Miami. So we worked with Clear Channel on making sure that we could get a really prominent spot as you left the airport and headed to your conference venues. And then we also put wraps on the Miami Beach trolley lines and the Brickell Metro mover line. And that went past all of the kind of different venues for crypto Miami. And there were a bunch of other kind of NFT related conferences. What happened? Well, a bunch of people tweeted, they were super excited. We were featured in the Pudgy Penguins newsletter. We also had a Bored Ape up there. So there was lots of chatter around that. And yeah, we just got a lot of great feedback. And underneath, you can't really see it here, it says powered by Filecoin and IPFS. So having like a good kind of throwback to the technologies that underpin NFT storage. We are excited to do more creative activations. If you have any awesome ideas, we are always open to hearing them. And we're going to be doing some more stuff around that at South by Southwest. So keep an eye out.
Thank you, Angie. All right, Emily.
Hey everyone, my name is Emily and I am on the marketing team, and I am stepping in for Jamie today to talk about the upcoming 2022 events that we are attending or putting on ourselves. So in February, we've got the Filecoin Green Meetup, which will be on the 1st, and you can subscribe to the meetup.com page, and I will link that afterwards. We also have on February 5th, FOSDEM 2022, and then we will be at ETH Denver conference and the Build-a-thon. We are also participating in the hackathon there, which will be in real life and virtual. And then the 18th to the 21st will be the Faber Web3 hackathon, which is also virtual, which we just announced last week. And then we also have, starting on February 28th through March 6th, Web3 conference. And then in March, South by Southwest, as everyone has been talking about, as Angie mentioned, if you have any ideas for anything creative activation, please let us know. We're happy to hear them. We will also be hosting an NFT house on 6th Street in Austin, which will go from March 11th through the 14th. On the last day of that, we also have a Green Blockchain Summit, which will feature Filecoin Green. Then on March 16th and 17th in Africa, we have the Blockchain Africa conference, and then a few other things that we are exploring as well, ETH Austin 2022, and there will also be a storage provider AMA in March as well, and we just had the first of those yesterday, and the recording will be live soon if you missed it. And then also, as Nikki mentioned previously, we've got lots of other hackathons that we're participating in, and please click this URL if you're interested in participating any of those. Thanks to marketing and hackathons and many others for putting these together. Hope to see you at some of our events.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Emily. Sylvan.
Hi, everyone. This is Sylvan from Starboard. Very excited to introduce a suite of very nice dashboards and analytic tools that we're actively building. I'll be very concise, I promise. So the first one is the network health dashboard, where you can check Filecoin storage states, circulating supply, gas and deal information through different charts with various granularities. And the next one is the SP reputation dashboard, or we can call it SPRD for short, which provides a lot of on-chain analytics for SP behaviors and performance. And also we are releasing a new version of that tomorrow with improved UI and product features. We also have the observable notebooks. They are real time and also open source, so that's great. So feel free to fork the notebooks and work on some analysis if you feel needed. We also have the SP economics calculator, which was the first tool that we introduced. It helps calculate returns on providing storage service on Filecoin, and we are working to open source the calculator as well. So we are continuously iterating these dashboards and also the analytic tools. So we look forward to your feedback. Happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hackathons. Lucas.
Yes, thank you. Cool. So as Colin outlined right at the beginning, hackathons are a key driver of ecosystem growth. And I'm just putting this chart back up for context so you get a sense for what we're kind of like zooming in on in the next 5 minutes. Hackathons, it's pretty clear, attract thousands of builders. We have in the past year grown the number of hackathons per month to around 5 per month. Colin already said that we've touched more than 10,000 people via those hackathons. And in total, we've received more than 1,500 submissions from, because each submission is comprised of a team of multiple people, from around 5,000 builders to our checks since April 2021. And just want to point out the chart on the right there. You can kind of see growing from left to right the number of submissions that we're receiving, up to 1,500 now in January, and that data is still incomplete. That's the big blue line, and then green is like what's net new in a given month. And then I'm also putting there the number of hackathons that we conducted in each month. So in April it was just 1, then in May 3, and in November we had 6, and we're going to continue growing that number. Our aim is to add 400 submissions in the first quarter of 2022, and it looks like we're pretty much on track. Nikki already talked about that we love to celebrate the success of our hackathon winners, and she already talked about them. I would encourage you all to explore most of these 2021 winners in our Hall of Fame on the Hackathon's website. And please know that going forward, we'll do this on a more consistent basis, and we'll constantly be adding more hackathon winners to our Hall of Fame. At the same time, we realize that if we're touching 10,000 people and we're only getting 1,500 submissions, there's a lot of potential. And one thing that we've been doing over the past year is to try to really figure out why people drop off and at which stage in the hackathon. And we've seen that there are particularly hard points here, and you kind of see from left to right the different steps in the hackathon journey. And then you can see that it gets a little bumpy around team formation and ideation and their actual hacking. And we're doing a lot of things to kind of continuously ramp up our support model to ensure there's something for everyone here. And just one thing that I want to point out, builders join our hackathons for very different reasons. Like there are the people who want to just build a project. There are people who want to build their career and maybe find job opportunities. And then there are the people who are just interested in the technology and want to grow that skill set. I think that our hackathons are really an opportunity for all these people to find something, and hopefully we can kind of continue building on that and really reduce the drop off there. Mosh already talked about it a little bit. Many of the hackathon winners are charging ahead, right? So hackathons are becoming a major source of grant and accelerator applications. And the chart there on the right is total grant applications in blue. And then in green, you can see how many of those total grant applications were sourced via hackathons. And what I would like to see happen to this chart is grow the total number, the blue, so we see more and more grant applications, and at the same time grow the number of green hackathon applications as well. And you can see that we're now, in January, although that month isn't complete, and we're off of a smaller base, but we have like 50% of grant applications are stemming from hackathons. And we're hoping to really keep that growing in the same direction and also grow the number of total grant applications. I just want to share like 2 stories, and there are countless more that I could put on this slide. And I encourage you once again to look at the Hall of Fame and stay in touch with many of these teams. Secured Finance, which is kind of the top arrow flowing there. They're now, or in 2021, they raised 4 million and they're still going strong. But if you kind of track back the arrow a little bit, you can see that their journey started in summer 2020 when they won the HackFS hackathon. And they then kept building. They participated in the Tachyon Filecoin Accelerator program before incorporating, and they've really been going strong. And that's kind of like that's one of the longer journeys, even, right, between summer 2020 and July 2021, raising 4 million, still incredibly fast. And then you can kind of see another counter or another example there with MetaPals. They won at our Mercury hackathon, which was part of the Asia hackathon season in November. Then they were awarded a grant in December. And then in January, they applied to the Techstars Accelerator, and fingers crossed, let's see where they go. But we're hoping that we'll just recreate many of these stories, and that you all can kind of like see them come to life. So kind of zooming out a little bit for 2022, what are some of the things that we're working towards? We want to continue to host or kind of sponsor highly visible hackathons to increase our reach and the number of submissions. That's the most important metric for us. We also want to empower the community and partner with the best vendors, and we have a bunch across the globe to run those events, and so we can increase the total number of events that we're putting on to maybe not just 5 per month, but maybe 10 per month. Informed by research, we want to level up the quality of events and really reduce that drop off. So you saw the journey before, and increase the number of submissions and just maximize the number of people that actually build something and submit something. And we want to optimize all the various touch points that we have with builders, and be it in real life events, swag, our mailing list, our website for builders, and just like increase our reach and build community with those folks who are doing tremendous work to help grow our ecosystem. And then importantly, we want to, hackathons are just the beginning, right? So we want to really double down on helping participants discover follow-on opportunities and increase funnel conversion, grow that number of grant applications, grow the number of teams that go into accelerators. I want to leave you with 3 things that I'm hoping that we all together can do. One is to just spread the word about upcoming events in your networks, like post about it. The website really has all of them coming up, and if you all share it with your network, hopefully there's like something interesting there. I would encourage you all to flag to us, to the Hackathons team, partnership opportunities that you see, and let us know. We have a pretty good sense for what's going on, but together with you all, we hopefully can get kind of like eyes and ears everywhere, and please let us know. And then last but not least, we have a fantastic team of dev advocates, many are on the call now, and then engaging with participants on the IPFS Discord, on Filecoin Slack, on event-specific Discords. But please, right, like if people reach out, we're all mentors. So share your knowledge, share your excitement, and hopefully we can make this hackathon program really impactful. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Lucas, and everyone that participated in our spotlights today. All right, Colin.
Awesome. Well, I can't believe we squeezed this all into 1 hour. Just a tremendous amount of impact across our ecosystems, from Filecoin to IPFS and Lip2P. Huge thank you to all the team leads for kind of their updates from their teams. A huge thank you for the folks who participated in the 60-second spotlights. And of course, to Lucas, who did a deep dive on the hackathon strategy. For those watching, there's lots of different ways to engage with our ecosystems. You can join as a full-time member of the ecosystem working group and dedicate a part of your career to helping grow Web3. If you're an organization in our ecosystems, you can join one of the working groups and help further some of the objectives. If you're a community member that wants to learn and participate, you can join as an ambassador. If you're shipped something and you just want to spotlight something in the next working group all hands, you can just email us and we'll book a slot for you. And if you're someone who just is here to learn about IPFS, Filecoin, or Web3 in general, please join our Slack community and our Discords and follow along. There's lots and lots of exciting things as we make that transition from Web2 to Web3 as a group here. So thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next month.